Put simply, the space for moderate politics is collapsing as the Middle East descends deeper into extremism and conflict. A sectarian battle line is being drawn through the heart of the region, with Sunni extremists, many allied with al-Qaeda, dominant on one side, and Iranian-backed proxy forces dominant on the other. What is more disturbing, however, is how little that most Americans seem to care. Most are weary of war and eager to focus on domestic issues, but some hold a more cynical view. They see the Middle East as a hopeless quagmire of ancient hatreds and a huge distraction from worthier priorities, whether it is rebalancing toward Asia or nation building at home. For those of us who believe otherwise, and who believe the United States must lead more actively in the region, we have to answer a fundamental question. Why should we care about the Middle East? One reason is that we have enduring national interests in the Middle East that will not be diminished, not by our fatigue with the region and its challenges, not by our desire to focus on domestic issues, not by the growing importance of other parts of the world, and not even by the prospect of American energy independence. The Middle East has always been more important than oil, and it still is. If the Middle East descends into extremism and war and despair, no one should think America would be able to pivot away from those threats. Our national security interests will suffer, and that is an inescapable reality. It is a lesson of September 11, 2001, and to believe otherwise is not only naive, it is dangerous. The Middle East also matters because much of the world views it, rightly, as a test of American credibility and resolve. For decades, presidents of both parties have said the United States will deter our enemies and support our friends in the Middle East. They have said we would not allow Iran to get a nuclear weapons capability. And they have said, as this president has said about Syria, that we would not tolerate the use of proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. If the United States now signals that it is unwilling or unable to meet its own stated commitments and enforce its own declared red lines, that message will be heard loud and clear far beyond the Middle East.